Welcome to Paranormal Tales and the Supernatural. I'm Supernatural Star. Welcome to Kilmacurragh Estate, on the southeast coast of Ireland in the county of Wicklow. And this is an innocuous looking mound of stones, moss covered through age, but they hold a very deep, dark secret. And to understand this, we have to look at it in the context of the history of the estate. First man that arrived in the 7th century was Mohorogue, who became a saint later, a hermit, and later an abbey was founded on the same site, and this lasted until 1538 when the monastery or abbey was closed down by the Tudor monarch of the time. The monks of course were rebelling, not smelling, and they paid a heavy price for it, but this mound of stones has a tale to tell. And that tale goes back to the Acton family, who came into control of the estate through Oliver Cromwell, the Puritan leader, who came over to Ireland to quell a rebellion here of Old English and Native Irish against the new Puritan Protestantism. The owners of the estate, the Acton family, built a fine house. And at some point they also decided to put in croquet lawns. To do this they had to level the ground, and when they went to level the ground they dug up an enormous quantity of bones because it was the monks' graveyard. They reinterred these bones under this moss covered mound of stones, and that is where the dark tale featuring this mound of moss covered stones comes from. For the angry monks, their disturbed spirits returned once again to Kilmacurragh, and they are known to haunt the area ever since. The house itself, which is now fallen into ruin, it's been burned twice. It's haunted by two female sprites. One is the spirit of a woman who walks the corridors with a candelabra, seen many times. Nothing much is known about her story, but the second sprite is one of the Acton women who, when she was alive, lusted after the stable boys in the stable yard, and to put a stop to this, her husband locked her up in her room, and she died in that room, which became her living tomb, and she has not left since. When the house was a hotel in the 30s and the 40s, guests staying in the room where she died would be molested if they were male. The females were okay, and the male guests would feel a heavy presence pressing down on them in the bed at night, and they never stayed more than one night in that room. They always requested a different room the next day. In the area of the pond at Kilmacurragh, which stretches back to the abbey in the 7th century, a tale of a female sprite who haunts the area also. This is the sister-in-law of Karl Bodina, a German national who owned the hotel in the 30s and 40s, and she drowned herself in the swimming pool on the Dublin Road side of the estate. Her remains were brought and stored in a meat locker, as there was a big event going on at the hotel that night, and they really did not want to call the police in until the event was finished, which was around 3 o'clock in the morning. That unhappy sprite wanders around the pond area. Also on the Dublin Road, the old Dublin Road side of the estate, there is the Headless Highwayman. This man, like all highwaymen at the time, enjoyed a very short career, looked up to as some kind of hero by young peasant Irishmen because he had the freedom that he had, a life of adventure also, which was short-lived as it was for most highwaymen. When he was captured, he was hanged and beheaded. So the unhappy sprite, ghost or revenant, also haunts the estate, a headless horseman.